Welcome to Coin Discovery USA, the place where everyday pocket change can turn into an incredible story of hidden treasure, surprising discoveries, and the fascinating world of rare coins. And today we are exploring one of the most talked about possibilities among modern coin collectors. The mysterious and highly discussed 1977 Lincoln 1-cent coin that, under the right circumstances, has been associated with astonishing collector attention and theoretical values that have reached as high as $13 million when extremely rare mint errors, unusual striking anomalies, and exceptional preservation conditions all come together in a single remarkable coin. And while most people see a 1977 penny as nothing more than a simple piece of everyday currency used for small purchases or forgotten in jars and drawers around the house, experienced collectors understand that sometimes the smallest details can completely transform an ordinary coin into something that collectors around the world begin searching for with excitement and curiosity. Because the United States Mint produces billions of coins every year, and during the complex process of preparing metal blanks, striking coins with massive presses, and releasing them into circulation, small mistakes occasionally occur that create unusual varieties and rare mint errors, and when those errors are dramatic, visually noticeable, and preserved in excellent condition, they can attract enormous interest within the numismatic community. Which is why the 1977 Lincoln cent has occasionally been discussed among collectors as a coin that might display rare striking characteristics capable of generating extraordinary value, especially when collectors discover strong double die features that create visible separation in the lettering of Liberty, the motto "I in God We Trust," or even the date itself. Because double die errors occur during the creation of the working die when the design is impressed into the die more than once in slightly different positions, producing a coin that displays a distinct doubling effect that can be seen with magnification and sometimes even with the naked eye. And collectors who carefully examine their coins often search for these features because genuine double-die coins are considered authentic mint varieties rather than damaged. And when a dramatic example is discovered on a coin such as the 1977 Lincoln cent, the excitement can spread quickly throughout the coin collecting community, especially when the doubling is bold and clearly visible. But doubled dies are only one of many possible mint errors that can contribute to the extraordinary reputation surrounding rare pennies. Because off-center strikes can also occur when a coin blank is not perfectly aligned with the dies during the striking process, causing part of the design to appear missing while the remaining design shifts toward one side of the coin. And collectors are particularly interested in off-center coins that still display a readable date because the presence of the full date allows the coin to be identified while also showing the dramatic visual impact of the striking mistake. And when such a coin is preserved in high-grade condition, it becomes an appealing combination of rarity, visual uniqueness, and historical production error that can greatly increase collector demand. And another possibility that occasionally appears during the minting process involves broad-struck coins, which occur when the retaining collar that normally holds the coin in place during striking fails to properly confine the metal blank, allowing the coin to expand outward and produce a larger than normal diameter with flattened or weakened rim edges, creating a striking visual difference compared to standard coins and making these pieces particularly interesting to collectors who study mint errors. And then there are wrong planchet strikes, which represent one of the most fascinating categories of mint mistakes, because they occur when a coin design intended for one denomination is accidentally struck on a metal blank meant for a completely different coin, producing a dramatic mismatch in size, weight, or metal composition. And if a 1977 Lincoln cent were ever discovered on an incorrect planchet, it would immediately attract intense attention from numismatists who specialize in mint errors. Because such coins represent clear evidence of the complicated industrial process behind coin production, and the story becomes even more intriguing when we consider clipped planchet errors, which occur when the metal strip used to punch coin blanks overlaps during the cutting process, leaving a curved or crescent-shaped clip missing from the edge of the blank before it is even struck by the dies, resulting in a finished coin that displays a smooth, curved missing section along the rim that cannot be mistaken for damage. And authentic clipped planchet coins display characteristic metal flow patterns that confirm their origin within the minting process, making them another variety that collectors actively seek. But the list of potential mint anomalies does not stop there, because die cracks can also form after a die has been used repeatedly under enormous pressure, eventually causing small fractures that appear as raised lines across the coin's surface once they begin transferring onto the coins being struck. And in some cases, these cracks can grow into dramatic features known as cut errors, where a portion of the die actually breaks away entirely and produces a raised blob of metal on the coin where the missing piece of the die once existed, creating a distinctive appearance that instantly captures the attention of collectors who specialize in these unusual minting events. And sometimes coins even show strike-through errors where grease, debris, or other foreign material temporarily interferes with the striking process, leaving parts of the design weak, distorted, or partially missing, which again illustrates how even small disruptions during minting can create coins that look dramatically different from the billions of perfectly struck examples released each year. And when collectors talk about coins like the 1977 Lincoln cent potentially reaching enormous values such as $13 million, the conversation usually involves a hypothetical combination of several factors occurring simultaneously, including a dramatic and visually striking mint error, extremely limited surviving examples, exceptional eye appeal, and a top-tier certified grade such as mint state condition with original red luster still shining across the surfaces of the coin. Because professional grading services carefully examine coins under magnification and assign grades that represent their level of preservation, and coins that survive decades without significant wear, scratches, or discoloration are considered far more desirable to collectors, especially when they also display rare mint varieties or production anomalies. And this is why many experienced coin hunters spend hours searching through rolls of pennies obtained from banks, carefully inspecting each coin for unusual details that might reveal a hidden rarity. Because history has shown that remarkable discoveries can still occur within everyday circulation, and sometimes a coin that has been overlooked for years can suddenly become the center of intense interest once its unusual characteristics are recognized and confirmed by experts. And the 1977 Lincoln cent represents an especially interesting candidate for such discoveries because it was produced during an era when billions of copper alloy pennies were struck for circulation, meaning that large quantities entered the economy and circulated widely throughout the country, increasing the possibility that rare varieties or unusual mint errors could still be hiding among ordinary coins waiting to be rediscovered by a patient collector. And this sense of possibility is what keeps the hobby of coin collecting exciting for so many people, because every coin tells a story not only about the design chosen by the mint and the historical period in which it was produced, but also about the industrial processes, machines, and human decisions involved in its creation. And when something goes slightly wrong during that process, the result can be a coin that stands apart from the rest and becomes a fascinating artifact of minting history, which is exactly why collectors around the world continue examining their change with magnifying glasses, searching for doubled lettering, rotated dies, off-center strikes, unusual textures, or other features that might signal a genuine mint error. And although extremely high valuations such as $13 million represent the most dramatic possibilities discussed among enthusiasts, the underlying message remains simple and powerful, because the next remarkable discovery could still be waiting quietly in a jar of pennies, a forgotten coin roll, or the loose change sitting in someone's pocket. And that is why the world of Lincoln cent collecting continues to grow with each passing year, as more people become curious about the hidden stories behind everyday coins and begin to realize that even the smallest denomination in circulation can sometimes carry an extraordinary combination of rarity, history, and collector demand that transforms an ordinary 1-cent coin into an unforgettable numismatic treasure. Next, the 1996 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin that most people would normally overlook as ordinary spare change, but which under very rare circumstances has been associated with extraordinary collector excitement and potential valuations discussed as high as $9 million when rare mint errors, unusual striking characteristics, and exceptional preservation all come together in one extraordinary example. Because the truth about coin collecting is that sometimes the smallest coins hold the biggest surprises, and the Lincoln cent series has proven many times that even coins produced in massive quantities can occasionally display rare mint anomalies that transform them from simple everyday currency into highly desirable collectibles that capture the attention of numismatists around the world. And the 1996 Lincoln cent is a perfect example of how the combination of minting errors, production varieties, and exceptional condition can elevate a simple penny far beyond its face value. Because during the minting process, billions of coins are produced using powerful presses that strike metal blanks with engraved dies, and although the United States Mint operates with extremely high precision, the sheer scale of production means that unusual events occasionally occur during the process. And when those events leave visible evidence on a finished coin, they create the fascinating mint errors that collectors actively search for in pocket change and bank rolls every day. And one of the most well-known categories of mint errors that can dramatically increase a coin's interest is the double die variety, which occurs during the die creation process when the design is impressed into the die more than once in slightly different positions, resulting in coins that display noticeable doubling in the lettering, numbers, or design features once the die begins striking coins. And collectors examining a 1996 Lincoln cent often look closely at the date, the word Liberty, and the motto "I in God We Trust" to see whether any unusual separation or duplication appears in the letters, because strong double die features can create a striking visual effect that immediately sets a coin apart from normal examples. And when such doubling is bold enough to be seen without magnification, it becomes even more desirable among collectors who specialize in mint varieties. But double dies are only one of many possible anomalies that can turn a simple 1996 penny into a remarkable collectible, because off-center strikes are another dramatic mint error that sometimes occurs when a blank planchet fails to align perfectly between the dies during the striking process, causing the design to be impressed partially off the center of the coin and leaving a blank crescent-shaped area where the design should have appeared. And collectors often prize off-center coins that still display a complete and readable date because those examples clearly show the minting error while still allowing the coin to be identified. And when such coins survive in high-grade condition, they become especially attractive to collectors who appreciate the unusual appearance created by the striking mistake. And then there are broad-struck coins which occur when the retaining collar that normally holds the coin's shape during striking fails to engage properly, allowing the metal blank to expand outward under pressure and produce a coin with a larger than normal diameter and flattened rim edges, giving the coin a noticeably different look that collectors quickly recognize as a genuine mint error rather than post-mint damage. And the story becomes even more fascinating when considering the possibility of wrong planchet strikes, which occur when a coin design is accidentally struck onto a blank intended for a completely different denomination, creating a dramatic mismatch between the design and the metal blank that can immediately attract attention within the numismatic community. Because such errors reveal the complexity of the minting process and the rare moments when production steps overlap in unexpected ways, and if a 1996 Lincoln cent were ever discovered struck on an incorrect planchet, it would instantly become one of the most intriguing modern mint errors imaginable. But collectors also pay close attention to clipped planchet errors which occur earlier in the production process when the metal strip used to create coin blanks overlaps during punching, leaving a curved section missing from the blank before it is struck, and when that blank enters the coining press, it produces a finished coin with a smooth, curved clip along the edge, a feature that experienced collectors recognize immediately because authentic clips display distinctive metal flow lines that prove the error occurred during minting rather than after the coin left the mint. And then there are die cracks which develop when the steel dies used to strike coins begin to fracture after repeated use under tremendous pressure, producing raised lines across the surface of the coins struck by that die, and sometimes these cracks can grow large enough to create what collectors call cut errors, where a portion of the die breaks away entirely and leaves a raised blob of metal on the coin where the missing piece of the die once existed. And these dramatic features often capture the imagination of collectors because they clearly demonstrate the intense forces involved in the minting process. While other coins display strike-through errors caused by grease or debris interfering with the dies during striking, resulting in areas of the coin where the design appears faint, distorted, or partially missing, Another example of how even minor disruptions during production can create coins with unique appearances that collectors find fascinating. And when enthusiasts discuss the idea of a 1996 Lincoln cent potentially reaching an extraordinary valuation such as $9 million, they are usually imagining a scenario where several rare characteristics combine in one coin, including a dramatic and visually impressive mint error, an extremely small number of surviving examples, exceptional eye appeal, and a top-tier professional grade confirming the coin's outstanding condition, because professional grading services evaluate coins based on their level of wear, surface quality, luster, and overall preservation, and coins that remain in pristine mint state condition decades after leaving the mint are considered especially desirable, particularly when they also display rare mint varieties or production anomalies. And this is why coin collectors often spend countless hours searching through rolls of pennies obtained from banks or examining coins found in everyday circulation. Because history has shown that remarkable discoveries sometimes occur when someone takes the time to look closely at coins that others might ignore, and the 1996 Lincoln cent remains an interesting candidate for such discoveries because billions were produced and circulated widely across the country, meaning that rare varieties or unusual mint errors could still be hiding among ordinary examples waiting to be identified by an observant collector, and this sense of possibility continues to inspire both new and experienced collectors to explore the world of coin collecting with curiosity and enthusiasm. Because every coin carries not only a design and a date but also a story about how it was made, the machines that struck it, the people who handled it, and the long journey it may have taken through circulation before arriving in someone's collection, and sometimes that story includes an unexpected twist in the form of a mint error or rare variety that transforms a common coin into something extraordinary, which is exactly why the hobby of searching pocket change remains so exciting. Because the next fascinating discovery might be waiting quietly among the coins you already have. And when collectors imagine the possibility of a rare 1996 Lincoln cent displaying dramatic mint errors and preserved in exceptional condition, the idea of such a coin reaching a valuation discussed as high as $9 million becomes a powerful reminder that even the smallest coin in everyday circulation can carry the potential for an incredible numismatic treasure waiting to be discovered.